Bookings, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's do some forbidden math. In the words of friend of the channel, Lord Diaz.
Yes, Lord Diaz for sure is a friend too to our channel as well.
Yep. Fantastic guy.
He is. Yeah, he was literally our first guest for our first live stream, and he was phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. Like the shirt I'm wearing, which we'll show here in a second. It's the Smart Guys 3.0 shirt.
Mm-hmm. That was a great sitcom. I love Smart Guys.
Smart Guys, yeah.
with Taj Mahal and all that, yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've had kind of a busy but not so busy week.
Mm-hmm.
I was I went down to McKinney, down near the Metroplex to cover a NCAA Division II football media day. The conference is called the Lone Star Conference, and one of the people I interviewed while I was there was Art Briles. So if you know college football, you probably know who Art Briles is.
Unfortunately, I do not.
That's okay. That's okay.
Mitchell probably would know.
Mitchell would know. Mitchell would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
That's okay.
Yeah. You know, I don't watch a lot of sports.
Oh, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I don't watch as much sports as I used to. Like I missed the entire World Cup.
I did. Yeah, I didn't watch any of it either. I did in the past a few times.
Yep,
but not
me
this
too.
Year.
But it's because everything's all on streaming. They're all streaming it, and I'm like,
that's the thing. You're right. Yeah.
I was just like,
that's true. And I'm sure there were some broadcast.
I'm sure there were
but
too.
I just never caught any of them.
No. So if I wanted like recaps or whatever, like I check my sports app on my phone, or because Apple does a really nice sports app, and or I just go on YouTube and be like, all right, well, I just want to see this. Or there were enough sports ball people that were always commentating, like they were always commenting on the World Cup, so felt like I never missed it.
No, and honestly, I felt like I was kind of living through it vicariously. It was like I knew what the information was. I saw it on Twitter all the time. I saw people's reactions all the time. So it wasn't like I had to watch the actual games, even though I'm sure it was great and exciting. And I loved also we had a bunch of Scottish people come to Boston, and that was so fascinating. I was actually in Boston to see a movie, and I think I'd seen more kilts in my entire life on that one day than at any point in time. It was so funny. I'm like, wow, this is a thing.
You go in thinking like, are kilts really still a thing? Well, apparently they are. So
they really are, and they will let you know. Like you'll see them, and I'm like, yep, still a thing.
Yeah, yeah. As long as they don't lift them up on you, I suppose.
Sure. Yeah. No, the Scots in particular, like they are really gracious guests. It's very fascinating. I know there were a lot of memes about like Boston is now New Scotland or whatever, and there were like the memes where it would be the Scottish flag and it'd be right over Massachusetts. So it's like we claim this in the name of Scotland.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, which is so ironic because a lot of people from Massachusetts are either Irish or Italian.
Right.
So now the Scottish are like the third,
the third minority.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I if I remember correctly, what was it? Like it was Japan and Netherlands that were in Dallas, and they took over like the Metroplex for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I had heard about the Japanese in Texas. That was really funny. I love that.
Well, and then the English were even in Texas, and they were like, ranch dressing, Buc-ee's. Like it just blew their minds, and I'm just like, well, yeah, y'all don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, they don't. No, it's true. Yeah, the English were really weird because I think they got a little jealous about the Scotland fans, so they were kind of strange. And I'm like, guys, do you understand where you are? You're in Massachusetts, and we literally threw tea over the harbor to get your ass out of here. Like, you need to relax. Like,
exactly.
Come on, guys, you got to be better than this.
But then like people are like, you know, the Europeans are like, oh man, you know, America, it's like this, you know, really crappy place, and I'm like, what are you talking about? This is a great place to live. You just gotta stay away from, like, it's like just gotta stay away from the armpits and the you know, the buttholes of America, and you'll be fine.
True. I would say that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, I've taken many trips to many parts of the South, and there are so many wonderful places. I've been to Nashville and Memphis in Tennessee. I've been to New Orleans. I passed by Mississippi a little bit, but it's such a different world compared to the North. And the North is great, but it's like it really is like it just tells you like how like you underestimate how big the U.S. is until you've actually been to some of these other parts.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, we are a huge country.
We're a very big country. Yeah, like, and it's funny because, like, even different parts of Texas are different. Like,
sure. Yeah.
Like, you go from the Panhandle, you know, Lubbock, Odessa Midland, like, you know, we kind of have that cowboy mentality. And that's like the traditional Texas, but then you go into like around like Georgetown and go around San Antonio. Then that's like a blend of like the old Hispanic Texas, like the old Tejanos, and they've been, you know, and those folks have been around for pretty close to, I want to say like, you know, pretty close to 200 years. And they're just as you know, American as you and me. So
sure,
they're just like they're just white people. They just tan a little bit better. So, but anywho, yeah, I'll peel back the curtain real quick. There's Evan, and then give me a second to pop on. There we are. Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't go off of a script like Crash Out connoisseurs. We just kind of flow. So, hey everyone, welcome to the Unfiltered podcast. It is season 2, episode 16. I have a very special guest with me today. His name is Evan. He is one half of Internet Uncapped. So I completed the duo because I had Mitchell on.
Yes.
Earlier in the season, and now I'm making it full circle. So I brought in Evan. So Evan, welcome in. You know what? Let's break the ice a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So well, I've disclosed this a few times on the show, but it's worth mentioning just in general for your audience. But I am a person on the autism spectrum as well as gay. Just for the sake of it, I don't give a shit.
Disclaimers. That's okay.
But you know, Mitchell and I, we met in middle school.
Okay.
And, you know, we were friends for since then, very long time. And he has always, you know, trolled me, and I've always tried to snipe back to, you know, not the most successful amount of, but as he does, he is just quick, fast, sharp.
Yeah, he is.
But we always jabbed at each other and always, you know, joked and whatever. So, at one point in time, I wanted to do a podcast like in high school, and I was like, I feel like I can do this. And we did actually do a first attempt with some friends, and Mitchell was there. Unfortunately, that attempt did not go very well.
Gotcha.
In fact, it's not well to the point where it is lost to space. That recording will never see the light of day on the internet anywhere ever.
Okay.
But it was very clear to me that I could, you know, that Mitchell actually, like, he, among everybody, all of our friends, he was the one who tried the most, like, in high school. And high school kids, they vary a lot in maturity level. Certainly I felt like I had a pretty good, you know, standing. Mitchell also, even though he said the most immature bullshit ever, he also like was a guy that I knew I could get along with pretty well and talk about stuff, even though he didn't take a lot of shit seriously. But he took that seriously. So
sure.
I knew that in the future, I knew that if I wanted to do a podcast, I could do it. Many years go by, about more than a decade later, he calls me up one day and he goes, Evan, I would like to do a podcast and I want to involve you in it. Would you like to do it? And this was post-COVID. This was, I mean, so much time had passed at this point. So, and everything had changed. And it really, like, I had to really think about it because this was something I really wanted to do. And so I was like, you know what? It's either now or never. I'm going to just put our best foot forward, you know, get back on YouTube because this is something I wanted to do because I did YouTube also around high school, college.
Sure.
The Bombasticrelish YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I actually had a good amount of views. I actually, I was surprised at times how many views I was able to get in those early days. But then YouTube since then has changed and morphed, and the algorithm and adpocalypse and all of that, like so many different changes between when I was doing it back in 2015 and 16 up until 2026.
Right.
But I was like, no, let's actually do it. He's entertaining. I know I can do it. I'm really good at organization and social media and this and that, and he's just good at just being, you know, the personality, you know, behind a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I have ideas for comedy stuff. I have comedy influences too, just as much as he does. So it's like, let's actually put on like the best show that we could possibly do. And we've just been grinding ever since. And I think we've been getting some relative success. And, you know, we're not a huge channel or anything, but definitely a few videos in particular that blew up. We do a series called the Cyrax Report, which is our coverage of Cyrax, the lol cow, horror cow, whatever you want to call it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know, it's been a journey with him, and it's been a journey for all the other people that we cover. But we do the Cyrax Report, and that gets a really big audience, especially people from sort of the Cyrax verse.
Yep.
And our two big videos were our coverage of the Cassandra Files, where Cassandra was sort of being a girlfriend troll toward Cyrax, but also we had an interview with her, and that got us big numbers, both in terms of our views and in terms of our subscriber count. So we're just going up and up and up. Yep. And we're just gonna keep just grinding it out, doing what we do. And so that's kind of the impetus of where I come from and where the origin of Internet Uncapped came from.
Nice. So I'll give you kind of the skinny of how I got roped into the whole live streaming, podcasting, you know, the whole YouTube culture. So so my dad and I grew up when I was growing up. Dad and I would take like road trips, and during those road trips, my dad would talk about the weirdest stuff, like conspiracy theories. You know, he was well read, business degree from Iowa State. You know, he had a business degree, but he never really used it. He did a much better job being a sound engineer, like an audio guy. Like he would go and you know, he'd outfit like venues with sound systems. He would do sound for bands, do concerts, you name it. He's probably done it. For about 30 years, he did a huge motorcycle rally called the Bait Freedom Rally of Iowa, which is a big biker rally. Everybody knows about Sturgis, but everybody kind of forgets about how big the Iowa one can get. It's over the 4th of July. It's basically, you know, big biker fest. There's a lot of bands. So there's like, Dad would get ready. He would work on he'd put his sound stuff together, like, you know, ingenuity, duct tape, and maybe like some bubble gum involved. And he made it all work. And he just had the ear for sound, and he was always like a bit of a musician. So like, along with that, he was very well read. So he would read about he'd read stuff from like quantum physics to like psychology to the weird stuff like to like aliens and Bigfoot and all your cryptids. If you knew about, like, if you know a conspiracy theory, Dad probably knew about it. And we would we would have road trips. He'd tell me all this stuff. So he was very interesting to talk to. So during the pandemic, he was not setting up sound systems anymore. He was doing live streaming sound, like he was doing live streaming setups for churches. He was trying to pivot his business because he saw where everything was going from everybody had a sound system now. So why don't we do a live streaming setup? And I had some knowledge of live streaming. I did some like light streaming in the past. I'd play games and it was very small. I don't think I ever got over 40 subscribers. But Dad and I sat down one day and I was like, do you remember like all the road trips we took? And we always talked about this weird stuff. And he was like, yeah, I remember that. So Dad and I wanted to put together a podcast because he was influenced by Joe Rogan. So he wanted to have the studio kind of like Joe Rogan and everything. And Dad was good with his hands. So, we built a studio. We had one of my cousins be the audio guy. Like he was the Jamie. And then we would react to stuff. And one of our first, like, it's never, I don't know if it's ever going to see the light of day. It's somewhere on YouTube. I don't know where it's at. But we did we talked about the Chicken Man. The Chicken Man was a radio show out of a station in Omaha. And they would do these comedy skits. Like, it's the Chicken Man, he's everywhere. And so we wore chicken hats and looked ridiculous, and we talked about that for about an hour. So Dad passed away in 2021. So I kind of put that aside for a while. I bounced around between jobs, and then by the time I was at Rapid City, there was another podcast put together by Sweeze. And I've had Sweeze and his brother on before. They were doing a podcast called the Sweeze and Swizzle Podcast. And that's where I was like, well, why don't I just resurrect the idea of a podcast?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, okay, we're Unfiltered. Like, let's, this is us Unfiltered. We were originally going to like talk about everything and anything in between. But it's morphed a lot since I really came up with the idea. So now it went from having like a 3-person group, and it was just going to be Unfiltered. And then we'd bring on guests or whatever. And we would have me, Sweeze, and Ed. And Ed was on like kind of the first episodes of the show. He got busy, so he had to drop out. So it was just for a while, and then Sweeze dropped out like maybe within the first 3 episodes. So I would just make an excuse to just bring on people like I knew, and call in favors, be like, hey, do you want to be on this podcast? Sure. And then I reach out to CJ Holiday, and CJ, that was when his YouTube stuff really hit the fritz. Like, he actually got wiped from YouTube. He had 10,000 subscribers at one point, and I watched CJ religiously. So I followed CJ. He followed me back. Mr. Lolcow, welcome in. Good to see you, Mitchell. So CJ was in kind of a rough spot, and CJ's like, well, I'd like to make a comeback. And so I was like, well, why don't you come on for, Unfiltered? And Unfiltered almost it basically became the pilot episode for Crash Out Connoisseurs. So like about a week before, CJ was like, I kind of want to make this an ongoing thing. Could we make this happen? And I was like, yeah, sure, we can do that. So what I did was, bring CJ on, and he coined the name. He coined Crash Out Connoisseurs. So yeah, credit to CJ Holiday on that one. And that
is a really good name. And that's great that he did that. I didn't realize he came up with that name. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he's actually pretty creative. But he says like, I do all the heavy lifting, and I'm like, well, but CJ, you got the star power. Sure. I'm just the journalist with, a decade of experience that decided I'm going to pivot away from journalism for a little bit. So, but yeah, like so I got into, we got that going, and it was our coverage of Chris Chan where like, I feel like people really kind of paid attention. And we only dwelled on Chris for like 20 minutes. We only talked about it for 20 minutes. That was the whole BronyCon thing where you got kicked out of BronyCon. Yeah. And then
I think I remember this.
And then and then I hate to tip the cap to Chance, but we built our channel on Cyrax coverage.
Kind of how we did it too.
Yeah.
I mean, we mentioned this early. I don't know if people heard it, but we do the Cyrax report on our channel, and a lot of our support is from the people who watch Cyrax videos.
A lot of Cyrax.
I get it. I do understand it for sure.
Yeah,
it does. It regularly performs very well when we put out those videos.
Right. So, yeah, I give credit to Goblin Boy for, kind of building us up a little bit. But I feel like we're trending in the right direction. We've had multiple guests. You're going to be on you're going to be on this Thursday. We're going to get you acquainted with a guy named KB Vlogs. And KB, he's like a small filmmaker. He's got 1,000 subscribers. But he does his own like cinematic universe. So he had a Ben 10 movie. He had his own Ben 10 movie. Okay. He had his own. He just released his own Deadpool movie. He did like a KB Vlog series.
Oh, interesting.
So like he brought in like his he does like Batman. He acts and he directs his own videos. So it's so great. So we're going to do a retrospective on KB. And KB's popped onto our chat a few times. And KB loves it. He soaks it in because he understands that we laugh at it, but also we love it. Like it's from a place of love rather than with Cyrax. And we kind of differentiated that with KB. We were like, the reason why we cover Cyrax and Chris Chan, and Nova and all these people is because we want to hold them accountable. For KB and Tony Chase and Stacey Kennison, and seriously, like you guys kind of influenced me to like watch more Stacey Kennison. I followed her on Instagram, and we've done segments on Stacey Kennison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just I don't mean to interrupt you, but just briefly. Stacey Kennison. So Mitchell showed me Stacey Kennison and said that this might be the next person we want to cover. And let me know if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
And I watched the very first thing that we covered on the video, and I'm like, you struck gold. Like we have to cover this.
Yeah.
This is horrible, but we have no choice. We've got to do this. And oh my god, I mean the rabbit hole with her is deep.
It's very deep,
crazy. It's just like holy
moly. Honky Kong, welcome in. But yeah, like Stacey Kennison was gold, and I saw it from when I watched your guys' channel. I cackled. Like I cackled like a super villain. Like I was just like, this is too good. CJ, we have to cover Stacey Kennison. And it was because she believes that like Bill Murray is like out to get her. Tommy Lee Jones is out to get her. Sandra Bullock is out to get her. Yes. Like it's so good, and
she also thinks that what's her name? Camilla Parker Bowles is the mother of Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones is a year older than her, so how is that physically possible? It doesn't make sense.
How is this a thing? Like
how? I don't, like. How does your mind work, Stacey? I really need to understand, but we will never know. We will truly never know.
We'll never know. It's funny because like Stacey will post up like 10 videos and then she'll go dormant for a while and then she'll come back with like 8 more videos.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah.
And it's like in the same location, it's the same setting, and it's 8 videos in the same setting.
Yeah. It's like, hey guys, this is Stacey Kennison. Do you guys realize that, and it's like a Tony Chase thing. Like, and I can get Tony Chase down. He's like, hey guys, how's it going? Have I told you that the satellite man royally fucked me today? Like he pointed he pointed lasers at my teeth and at my dick. Like, that's how Tony is. So I kind of lumped them together and we cover them kind of out of love rather than, and then we cover Perry Caravello a little bit. Like we've had some success with covering Perry. So, yeah, it's the government. They are trying to silence her. Yeah.
Truly.
She's fighting the good fight. Yeah.
They'll never keep a good person down.
No.
And that person being Stacey Kennison.
But, no, Stacey is the alien Van Helton shot at. Oh, that's pretty good.
I like it.
But no, we've covered Cyrax. We had a big kick on Truther 777 for a while.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Truther. That's somebody I absolutely despise. And
He's the whole package and then some, and we've covered him a little bit too.
Right.
The thing for me is that I don't have anything actively against him other than what you should be against him for, but
Right.
it's just that he doesn't do anything particularly different. It's you expect the same thing every day. It's like Groundhog Day, or
it's just a change of clothes.
3,
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Or in Far Cry 3, and it's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. I mean, that's basically Truther. Is doing the same thing over and over again. It's how much more do we need to really say about this guy that's already been said? So
Exactly.
We haven't really covered him a lot, and we really haven't covered him for months at this point. But
Right.
it's I think we've said pretty much everything we need to say about him, even though he's he's getting worse. It's actually kind of crazy because he said at one point that he was Jesus Christ and now he isn't Jesus, and I'm just what are we doing?
He's kind of moving from the I'm not Jesus phase to being the God's favorite prophet. Yeah. So but the problem is what is Truther 777? What is Sasha Feinberg? What are his prophecies? What is he trying to do to convert people to his cause? And the answer is nothing.
Exactly. He doesn't specify anything. All he does is crash out at all the people who go against him. That's all he does. He just crashes out and crashes out and crashes. I mean, he really is, to be fair, the perfect subject for your Crash Out Connoisseur show,
Yeah, and and I don't condone anything that he says, go live in a concentration camp or go jump off of a bridge to go meet Jesus. Truther,
we
West,
don't
and
either,
Chandler.
for sure.
Yeah, we don't. And so recently we moved on to KB. When we get Cyrax or Nova online updates, we'll do some stuff. If we used to cover PWR, and I had some experience with PWR as well.
Yes.
So at first I was going to bring on PWR to Truther Prophecy as a 5% coupon for his online store.
Oh, really? Oh,
so I originally wanted to bring on PWR at the time because he had the Keno Casino rub. He got away from Phil. And I'm in that camp where he looked up to Phil, but it was kind of a grift.
Yes.
So
we
really,
also have determined that too. It's all a grift. For sure.
Yeah. And I was going to bring him on, and I was and he was so paranoid. He's like, the trolls are going to get me, dude. They're going to get me. And I was like, what we're going to do is we're going to pre-record. We're going to talk about old school video games, old school wrestling, in your wheelhouse, and we'll go from there. And the night of we were supposed to pre-record, he goes on Kick, and he has this he's snorting cocaine live on stream.
Yes.
And I know because I was sitting there waiting for him, while he's on Kick, he's snorting snow. And I remember the day after, it was about an hour, because I was like, hey man, is everything okay? Can we, if he couldn't do it, hey, we can do it for this time. PWR loves Anissa. Yeah, he loves Anissa John.
Oh, he really loves. He sets goals for if he wants to get the Anissa tattoo on his body, and I'm like, guy, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to yourself? Nobody cares if you're gonna get the same tattoo as her. Nobody.
No.
I'm just, trust me.
I mean,
come on
and even then, Anissa will never go for PWR. She'll never go for Alex.
No.
Because Alex doesn't have any money. two of Anissa's big life goals is to marry a millionaire and have or marry somebody of her own religion. Those are the two big ones that was so set upon by her mom. So
interesting.
Yeah.
And then she failed both goals just to marry iDubbbz.
Yeah. Well, there's still a way back for Ian, but yeah, Anissa's gone. Yeah. But I think she is like essentially the anchor that will take Ian down. Deeper and deeper into the Marianas Trench.
Oh yes.
But no, like we were like an hour and a half before like going live. PWR hits me up and he's like, I had some fun. I did a Shawn Michaels retrospective and I cut myself on glass. He completely lied to me. And so I was like, it's fine. We'll get you rescheduled. This is okay. Luckily, like that day, I already scheduled Dave Wright, and he was from Corn Fed with Dalton Pruitt. So I was just like, hey, Dave, can you hop on with us? And we had a great show with Dave. Dave was amazing. Awesome. Unfortunately, Dave had a little bit of a falling out with Dalton, so he's kind of moved on. But I want to bring Dave back because he's such an interesting guy. He's from around y'all's area, probably around Vermont, I think. And he is very like kind of libertarian, very independent. He lives off the grid. Has a really cool setup.
Checks out.
Yeah. And he's into AI and everything now.
Interesting.
Yeah. He feels like he can make money with AI, which I'm like, hey, to each his own.
I guess you could.
You could.
I don't know how that works, but sure.
Well, like if you apply it to business or something like that, like you use it like a tool. And I can understand that.
Sure.
But you can't have AI do all the heavy lifting for you. Just saying. It's got to be at least 80% you, 20% AI, or even smaller, even like larger human margins than that. It gives you as much input as you'll give it.
I agree.
Yeah, but PWR. So I announced that we moved. I was like, I did a big old like hype post. I was like, oh man, we're gonna bring in PWR, and this is when I learned from Josh Pescatore of all people, who used to like be with Drama Alert. He used to be a producer for It's a Gundam. He was like, you do realize that he was snorting cocaine. That's why he got banned from Kick, right? And I was like, I didn't realize that. And to kind of rewind a little bit, because after we got done with Dave, we were like, okay, well, we're gonna have PWR on, and we were like, okay, well, I know he has a Kick channel. So Ed and I went into his Kick channel and we were like, that's weird. It's not found. Look, I mean, then it started coming together. Like as time went on, I was like, he got banned. And it was for the incident that Saturday night.
Right.
And then we, then like, I backtracked. I was like, yeah, we're not bringing you on. Like, and I cut off all contact and, that's where I became a PWR detractor ever since, and I don't even talk about him anymore just because of what he did to Lore. You can't take you can't take a few jokes from somebody. Okay, whatever. So like we just completely dropped him, and so we moved on to like more truther coverage. We did whenever Nova would do something, we covered that. We do Darkside Phil every now and then, but Darkside Phil, like for us, like I know my Darkside Phil lore just a little bit, not to the extent of like Meerkat, not to the extent of Mitchell or even Lore. And I pale in comparison to like Duty Streams or the guys from That Being Said. But I know enough to get pissed off with Phil and see through his bullshit. But they just don't draw good numbers. And then like as of late, we found KB, and we love KB. Like I love doing the thumbnails for him.
Cool.
Yeah, we had to do the same recently, and big ups to Lord Diaz. Lord Diaz! You son of a bitch. Yeah, we now we moved on to like a new crash out named Robbie Taggart, and he's this like 50-year-old chain smoking dude he's homeless, and he wanders Southern California. He's not even entertaining. He just sits there on his phone. He live streams. He sits there and he begs for money. He panhandles. Oh yeah, big e-beggar. And then he crashed out on MS. He keeps on crashing out over MS666. And we have viewers that will watch Emma and they'll watch us. So there's overlap because we both cover the same things. Like she'll cover Truther, we'll cover Truther. She's been covering Robbie. We've been covering Robbie. So, but I will say this: KB has the better thumbnails. Like it's so good. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And he pops on, and he's like all in. Like he loves our coverage of him and our reactions to his films. And he's
great.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I found out that he's from South Dakota, and I used to live in South Dakota.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think he lives like around Sioux Falls. I'll just leave it at that. And I've been to Sioux Falls multiple times. And it's flat, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely Sioux Falls. But no, like he did a like kind of like a preview of what he wanted to do next, and one of them was a Power Rangers movie. He wanted to do a Power Rangers movie. Yeah, like
is he gonna like get all the different Power Rangers action figures and like try to line them up and
no, like he's gonna cosplay as probably most of them.
Okay. So I thought he was using action figures, but he actually does his own costumes.
He does his own costumes. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
It's not like Chris Chan where he like sets up like action figures and then like starts telling a story. Oh hell no. Right. He dresses up. He cosplays. That's awesome. Like he'll have his own he'll have his own Deadpool. He'll have his own Wolverine. Okay. He has his own Spider-Man. Like awesome. It's good. It's one of those things where like he has the mind for it, but he has limited resources. And sometimes things don't make sense, but it makes it even better because we're playing mental gymnastics to try to make sense of the story. And one of my favorites, and we'll have to catch it, is for his Deadpool movie. He brought in an evil Deadpool. And we call them KB Pool and evil KB Pool. And yeah, and then there's KB Wolverine, KB Spider-Man, and because the convenience store didn't have any chimichangas, he flies a jet plane into the convenience store.
Oh, that's rad. Listen, valid reason to fly an airplane through a store. I think that's valid reason. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I love that. I'm looking forward to seeing the video that you show us on Crash Out. That's going to be great.
It'll be awesome, and he'll be there too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's bringing in like Dr. Doom KB, which is awesome. So yeah, like it's great. Hello, Tyler and guest Brooks Lux, welcome in. Are you taking it easy or breaking him down? You should really break Tyler down.
We'll see. I'm still very new to this whole jive, but
that's okay.
When it comes to PWR, we also have had a very interesting history with him because we have definitely covered him on the show only twice.
Yeah.
But I have actually been trying to do some gay ops because I was trying to go on kind of like a side quest.
Sure.
Where I was literally trying to infiltrate his chat to see if maybe he can actually like see our videos, and that way his audience would then be exposed to our channel.
Yeah.
It really didn't work out because he is so erratic and very unpredictable.
Yeah.
And yet, there were some very interesting things with certain interactions. So I'll share with you a few highlights of my interactions with him on Kick and YouTube, but mostly on Kick. So I went undercover, and I went as and I'll say it doesn't really matter, but I called it Inglorious Umbreon, IU, Internet Uncapped, Inglorious Umbreon. Yeah, get it. But basically, I asked him this question because we had our live stream with Lord Diaz. Lord Diaz, you know, he hates Lord Diaz so much, especially because of how much he covers him. And so we also were goofing a little bit on our live stream because we were talking about him, and in honor of PWR, me and Mitchell, we both ate Burger King on stream because that's his like absolute favorite place to go. And so we wanted him to react to that and see what he would have thought. So in the chat, I write, have you seen Internet Uncapped's coverage of, you and Lord Diaz? And it was so funny because he reads it out loud. He says Internet Uncapped out loud.
Internet Uncapped, the bastards.
Bad product. No, we're not going to do that. Bad product. And I'm like, yo, this is incredible. I couldn't believe it. And so that was the first thing. Him literally saying bad product. And I don't even know. We don't know 100% if he saw any of our videos. We don't know 100% if he saw that particular live stream. Mitchell has a theory that he actually may have done it after the fact. He may have looked us up afterward to see what we're about, but he has not mentioned us since, which I thought was very interesting.
Them Internet Uncapped bastards. It's a bad product, dude. It's a bad product, guys. Bad product.
Oh, so it was glorious. It was beautiful. Now here's the second thing. So Ames had exposed him because he was lying about being in a rehabilitation center.
Yeah.
And so he says, you might as well just own up to it. Are you a liar and a fraud? So the following day after a lot of that happened, he had a live stream. So what I did was I went into his chat to say, like, Ames was right, you're a liar. And what was happening was that there were two other people who also were keeping it up. And he had an entire mutiny in his live chat while he was streaming. It was the funniest thing ever. He was like, literally, people were like, why did you lie? Why did you do this? Oh my God. And he just was like playing his game like usual, just ignoring the chat completely. He is having a literal mutiny in his chat. He just will not like acknowledge them at all. And usually he will, like, he'll read like every comment or whatever, but that goes to show you like how, like, he just has like different focuses, and it's all like bing, 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 bing. And so and I was a part of that mutiny. It's not going to be anywhere that you'll ever see it. Like, that chat's probably gone by now, but at the time when it was live, I and like two other people were causing a mutiny in his chat. It was actually kind of incredible.
I'm just getting you playing my games, dude.
Exactly. I just want to play my games. I don't want to hear this stuff about
I don't want to hear this bull crap about Ames and all these lies.
Exactly. It's all lies. It's every lie, all the lies, all the time. But yet, and this was funny. And then he had a crash out. He was in bed. He was literally in bed. He had the camera pointed to him, and he goes, I had it up to here with these people treating Phil like garbage, and these VTubers, a VTuber! I've had it up to here. This is an injustice on everything. And Mitchell and I are busting out laughing. We're like, what the hell is going on? PWR, what are you doing? So, and that was at the height. Like, he was racking in maybe like close to 100 viewers, 150, something like that. Then when the whole Lord Diaz thing was happening, we decided we're done. We're not going to cover PWR. That's basically it. We don't give a shit. Like, this goes above too far. And especially because sort of what PWR is doing was in some ways similar to what the Quartering has been doing with taking people's streams down because they were just talking about him, about all the bullshit that he's been doing. DSP also has been kind of dabbling in it, but not nearly as successfully as the Quartering. So the fact that PWR has also been kind of guilty of like abusing the copyright claiming system, it's like, nope, we're done. We're done. And since then, and I literally just checked recently, he only pulls about like 25, 30 people per live stream. That's it.
Like, he cratered his career. Cratered the career.
Like, down the tubes.
Down the tubes. It's gone. He'll never come back.
Never. Oh, he will never come back, and there's no doubt. And I bet you. And he has like about 5,000 subscribers. Last I checked.
Yeah.
I think he botted all of them. I think he botted so many of those subscribers. I don't think he has a single like authentic subscriber, other than the people who, for whatever reason, still watch him even today.
Yeah.
It's a downfall that was well deserved, because he was being a piece of shit. He was being erratic. He was being all these things, and it all could have been avoided if he literally just wasn't being a piece of shit. You know?
Yeah. It could have been all avoided if he just ignored it, and to the point where he could have just, like, when Lore and Dash wanted to be like, hey, do you want to collab with us, or do you want to be interviewed with us? Sometimes you have to enter in the lion's den and take some heat, and that will either be like, okay, all right, that's either going to make you better or it's going to make you worse. But Alex is too cowardly for that. Another thing was, I was pretty active, like, on X, like, during that whole thing. And then Mitchell says the best was when I was in his chat during his San Andreas stream. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that pretty bad?
This Mr. Lolcow.
Mr. Lolcow, dude.
Oh my God, those videos are phenomenal, and Mitchell showed me them before he posted them on his TikTok. They are legendary for sure, and that's the stuff that he got on camera. The stuff that I did were not. You can find them, but you gotta like find the timestamp for it.
Really look for it.
You gotta look for it. But Mitchell actually like got it down. Like, that's PWR history right there.
Yeah, it is. But I remember like exchanging like just because I was getting pissed because I was like, you mess with us, you mess with one of us, you're gonna mess with all of us. So I called PWR out, and I sounded like completely reasonable. I'm just like, hey, like, and we covered like the whole quartering going after the Keno Casino. And then I was like, okay, this is going to be a snowball effect where it's going to tell these people that it's okay to flag down these lesser channels that are being critical of you. And it happened with PWR, and it happened with Phil. And I always say like bad things come in threes. But I called him out, and like PWR does this really weird like response, and he calls me like a quartering DSP autist, and I'm like, I hardly talk about these people. Like,
what does that even mean?
No,
really?
I don't even know what it meant either.
Words and trying to make meaning out of them.
Yeah, we did a segment on that. I'm like, Alex, that doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like, wake up. Like, Jesus. But no, it was rough, and I'm glad that we'll make references, but especially CJ. CJ doesn't claim him as Canadian.
Good.
Yeah, like
he's just up there. He's not actually Canadian. I like that. I appreciate that.
He's not Canadian. I mean, CJ being authentically Canadian will tell you like whether you're Canadian or not. Which is funny.
Yeah.
But no, like we moved on to like Robbie Taggart. We've moved on to KB. KB's great. When the whole Cyrax cascade happened over the weekend, we jumped on that. And when we did the shows, like we were like one of the first people to cover it like live on stream, which is fine. I mean, we're not going to get the views as like Antimatter Morty or whatever, but I was okay with it. I was like, we were like covering it as it was like fresh out of the oven, and it like, and we had like what was it? The CPU kind of like had a little bit of some hiccups. So like we were like, okay, all right, Monday stream. Okay, we'll resume that. We'll just resume that Tuesday, and then that was the blessing in disguise. Oh, please, Tyler is a quarter of Jeremy and far better. Well, how was your weekend? What did the oranges even mean? Like,
what do the oranges mean? Check this out.
Check this out, guys.
Yeah.
But like a lot of these people are just boring. They're incredibly boring.
Yeah.
I think like we tried watching like a Cyrax video. Like it was the one by N-word Boy called Goblin Prayer. In the first 5 minutes was Cyrax spinning his wheels. Like I got harassed by the internet trolls, and like then he goes off of ChatGPT for his little prayer.
Yeah.
And it was just,
hey, Nova, can you give me an estimate about this? And it's like, this is the whatever. And it's like, hey, Nova, can you give me an estimate? It's like, oh, guy, it's not even a real thing. It's like, he calls it ChatGPT. He calls it Nova because he wants to make it seem like that's the Nova AI app. It's not a Nova AI. It's ChatGPT, but he calls it Nova anyway.
And Nova, can you tell me more about the loyal process so I can get at John and William Glory Hole?
Like that's the sort of stuff he would ask, and it's so bad. It's so bad.
It really is. Yeah. No, we covered that, and it was. I'm just like, Chance, why are you doing this? Please stop doing this. Like, and it's so funny because it has that like female voice. So the fact that it has the female voice, it almost seems like he's kind of like treating the AI like a real woman.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's even worse when he gets into
I will never understand.
It gets even worse when he gets in like his AI art and everything. Like, when he tried to open up his own Zazzle store. So I watched your guys' video on that.
Yeah, the store. Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, I was half shaking my head and I was half laughing because I was like, holy buckets! Like, okay, we found Chance's Zazzle store and it's just as bad as advertised. Like, holy moly, that was bad. That was rough.
And it's like, who is buying any of this
Nobody.
bullshit? Like, nobody. Literally no one.
Mm-mm.
Who would even want to buy? Nobody. Like, what?
Nobody. No.
It was confounding seeing that store.
Yeah.
It really was.
Look at my sweet AI art that it took me like 5 minutes to put together. Like,
yeah, it's so bad. I was just surprised by when we had like when we found Cyrax's secret TikTok. He had it since like March 30th. And he posted about 35, 40 videos.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't until like William Glory Hole found it I think earlier that morning and said, hey, like, we need to take this down and or get it reported. Because of course Cyrax he ban evades.
Of course.
And I saw it like when I checked in on it about noon and I screenshotted it because I knew it was going to get taken down. With anything Cyrax, it's going to get taken down.
Of course.
And I did a screenshot of it, and then probably about 3 hours later, gone just like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it is how it goes a lot with him because of the fact that he ban evades all the time.
All the time.
And honestly, good because, like, yeah, understandably, like, the whole reason why his community exists is to keep him accountable and not to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you take him down, then that's probably for the best.
Agreed. Agreed. CJ and I had this conversation at one point where it's like, well, is it better that he has a more visible platform so we can keep an eye on him? Right. Or is it better that we get him banned from everything and he lurks in the shadows? That's one of those conundrums that we kind of debated about. Yes. It's like, yeah, like no matter what, he's probably going to still message minors, even though he's with, the 3 raccoons in a trench coat in Jackie. Yep. Some people say that she's real. Some people say that she's AI. I just go off of 3 raccoons in a trench coat,
Sure.
Yeah. So like, that's what gets me is like, do we keep him on a platform where we can keep him regulated and keep him boxed in to where we can monitor everything? Or do we just, go thermonuclear and get him off everything, and then he lurks in the shadows, and then his stuff is a lot more subtle and cunning.
Yes.
Like
that smug racks energy.
Yeah, the smug racks energy, like with the secret TikTok. Like I was like, well, there you go. Like he's been posting all along, like
right.
Because he can never kick that itch. He can never kick it.
Yeah, and I've said this before on the show, but in many respects, sunlight is the best disinfectant. And I think that, and like the more that people are aware of it, the more that he won't be able to do what he does. And we mentioned this before, but back in I want to say either February or March of this year, libs of TikTok got a hold of Cyrax, and they actually introduced their entire audience, a wider Twitter audience, to Cyrax, and people were like, "What the fuck? How does this person look like that? How is he real? What the hell?
Is this AI?
Is this AI? Oh my god! Oh, he's so gross looking. Oh, he's nasty." And it was like everybody on Twitter was having a field day over him, and it really was kind of incredible. It's because it's like when you're kind of introduced and when you're in a certain mode of the internet, you're kind of numb to it. But when you have people who are literally seeing him for the very first time, you really kind of appreciate oh, this is not normal. This is he actually really is that kind of a grody looking goblin,
Yeah. It's so funny when people make jokes like they're like, "Oh my gosh, is this Asmongold's brother?" And Asmongold comments on the whole Cyrax situation, with Cyrax breaking containment.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, and even what else caught fire on Twitter as well is that he was threatening ice ages because he didn't want them invading his house. And it's like, Chance, you're not gonna have ice agents come to your house. That's not going to happen.
It's not just because he's whiter than he's whiter than white rice, but
if you're gonna come in and threaten my family, I'm gonna bust out my little sword,
his little sword, exactly. And I'm like, dude, you're not a samurai.
No, he's not. He likes to cosplay as a ninja samurai. The less talented people are, the more boastful they are about their abilities. And Cyrax is a prime example of that because he's not talented in anything, but he's I'm a musician, I'm a music producer, I'm a sound engineer, I'm a ninja, and I'm a samurai all at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, it's really bad.
It's bad
for sure. It's always bad.
Always bad.
You kind of know what you're gonna get, even if you're a little surprised about how horrible you're gonna get it.
Oh man,
it's a lot.
It's rough. But sometimes, and I want to comment on this too, and I thought about this, is sometimes the Raxo community can be pretty divided sometimes.
We've seen a few things recently. I won't reference what, but we've seen a few really crazy stuff going on in that.
Yeah, it's like a Cyrax civil war going on. And I think I made mention of this several months ago. Between it's almost like a war between the kind of the buddy trolls and then you have the likes of William and Southern and John and almost like the descendants of Music Biz Marty versus the Kennel Kickers. And then I saw this was Cassandra. There was a clip of Cassandra crying because she felt bad for leaving him out in the cold. Now, that's a very human emotion, and I will, and I saw people really thrash Cassandra on this, where I was like, you know what, even though Cyrax is this goblin, that's worthy of a trip to the wood chipper, you still the bigger people still kind of care at the end of the day. They care for their fellow man, no matter how much of a degenerate troglodyte they may be. So that's where I'm like, okay, all right, how far is too far? And I've seen people accuse Cassandra of being a grifter, and And, she's jumping on the bandwagon. She wanted to get close to Cyrax so she can insert herself into the Cyrax lore. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like that's a question to ask Cassandra someday. And I reached out to Cassandra, appreciate Mitchell, like kind of getting us like in contact with one another. But that's one of those questions that we'll ask her is like, like what got you into like trying to contact Cyrax, because she was close with John. And she was kind of in on the whole, like, it was kind of like a long play where they were going to have like interactions with Cyrax, and then they were going to build up to kind of the crescendo of him, meeting her in the public and like out in public. Right. And then there's like a video of her getting tied up and bound, and John shows the video, and Cyrax just goes absolutely Christian Bale Batman on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is she? Like, where is Cassandra?
Where's Cassandra?
Oh God.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen the actual video, but I know of the existence of this video. I'm not at liberty necessarily to comment about the situation itself, but here is what I will say. Mitchell and I had a discussion about this, and it really comes down to this. There are people who, when you get on the internet and you know what it's about, you can at least know what you're getting yourself into, right, and you can know how to handle yourself because of certain rules that you want to establish. And this is a case, unfortunately, where there were many red flags that Cassandra was demonstrating, and that unfortunately there was a lot that she could not handle. Yeah. And that is the really unfortunate truth of the matter. And as of now, I don't know if her actual account is gone, but she has completely private all of her live streams and all of those things. And I think she realized, like, her original plan, which her previous content was actually, sort of ghost hunter, sort of supernatural, like all of that kind of stuff. And then she got really into it with Cyrax. And I don't know if she knew exactly what she was going to get herself into. And she didn't. And I don't know if she really had a vision for what the rules for herself would be. And especially where, everything is out on the internet. People are going to find out the way they're going to find out. Like there is a level of privacy, and at the same time, there is not a level of privacy. Agreed. Like, people will find out, especially in a community as big as Cyrax. Like, we have the smallest community ever. We've only had every once in a while just a few people who complain about our stuff, but for the most part, we've actually garnered a really solid, very amazing group of people who come back to our streams or to our videos rather. We've been very fortunate, but the Cyrax verse is one where Mitchell told me basically, and I'm very new to all of this with the Cyrax verse or whatever, but there seems to be a level of decorum, and that you don't cross certain lines. You don't, I don't want to say what exactly they are. I can't really remember them off the top of my head, but one of them really is that it's like, you don't cross the people who really kind of made it up until the top, like the Johns, the Southern Harlots, these kinds of people. And there were, and on the live stream, and I'm just going to say on live streams that I saw, they were saying that there were some, they were in constant contact with her. Like, she didn't really respond to certain things. Like, they were trying to help her out. And then they say that there are a bunch of liars and a bunch of this and a bunch of that. And so it just kind of was a mess. And, I wish Cassandra the best for sure, but it really she did not have a handle on what she was getting herself into at the end of the day.
Yeah, because the Raxo universe in Mitchell said, great answer, by the way. Brookslook says, maybe she knew, but this area of the internet has a way of eating itself for right, wrong, and for the lulz. Yeah, I completely agree. Like,
I agree too. Yeah.
I understand kind of the standards like that are put down by William and Southern, John, and before them, Music Biz Marty, where and they're protective. Like, if you're in the circle, you are in. However, one of those things is, don't interact with the goblin. not directly.
Don't touch the poop.
Don't touch the poop. Don't send him toys.
Nope.
You know, like, you can observe, but don't interact. And we've always carried that rule. Whenever CJ and I do Crash Out Connoisseurs, we always tell people it's okay to observe and laugh. And in all honesty, like, there's times where we interact with Truther, but Truther most of the time ignores what we do.
Yes.
Even with all of his crash outs, like, he won't like, he sees like Unfiltered Podcast Texas and just looks the other way. But yeah, like, the rules are not hard to follow. Don't touch the poop and have fun. Exactly. So, and I'm fine with, you know, I'm fine with having those, you know, with those standards. I know, like, sometimes, like Robbie Taggart gets really Unfiltered Podcasts are poop touchers in training. Thanks, Brooks. Thanks, Brooks. But no, like, there's a whole big saga with Robbie Taggart right now where he can't get Emma's name out of his mouth because Emma covers him, and Emma has a larger audience than Robbie does. So Robbie will just sit there and he'll shit talk like Emma 666 like almost the entire time. It's like she's living rent free in his brain. So that's how like, you know, that's how volatile some of these lolcows can be. And it's the same way when you know, when PWR went after Lore, when Darkside Phil, or when the Quartering went after Kino Casino, you just have to kind of be aware of your situation, and you know, it's okay to be the bigger person, but sometimes, like, you know, like if it's like something like where the Quartering went after the Kino Casino, that's where you're just like, okay, all right, like. It was one of those things where this is a friend of mine was telling me where, like, and I don't get along, like, I don't really see eye to eye with some YouTubers, but when it happened, like Brittany Venti said something about the situation, and then I weighed in, and my friend Sweeze was like, Tyler Liger and Brittany Venti on the same page. I did not have that on my bingo card. Yeah.
That's interesting.
And there's
I don't
times
give her
where,
a lot of credit because every video she does, she just says, "Hey, N-words." Wow.
Yeah. She's rage baiting.
I don't give her a ton of credit for really anything.
No.
But, like, with the Chrissy Mayer stuff, like, I'm like, yeah, like, no, she's very valid in what she's saying here. She was complaining a little bit too much, but, like, Chrissy was just completely ignoring a lot of what Brittany was saying about the Quartering.
Sure. And Brittany's not a saint by any means either, but
no.
She's far from a saint. It used to be really funny, like, way back in the day, where you used to rage bait Brittany Venti, and she's like, I don't know a thing about these memes, or like, and they, the memes. And then she kind of like, then she went like and appealed to like the, you know, to like, I guess the chuds, I suppose, but it is what it is. Anywho, I'm going to switch topics real quick. Sure. We're going to go to pro wrestling. You dressed up as Ned Flanders for TNA Slammiversary.
Yes,
So how did that, like, what inspired you to be like, okay, all right, I'm going to rock Ned Flanders. I'm going to rock the sweater. I'm going to rock the slacks.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to be like, howdy dilly do, neighborinos, you know.
Howdy do. Exactly. So here's some of the history behind it.
Sure.
Firstly was that when we started the show, our second episode, and my first episode that I covered for the show was Royal Rumble. That was back in 2025. And what I wanted to originally do was that Mitchell and I had a watch party that we would see at his place, and I wanted to dress up for, you know, the occasion, because I thought, you know, that'd be kind of fun, why not? And I had to really think about who I wanted to dress up as. So I thought I would go as Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh. So I grew out the entire beard. I already have a bandana. All I needed to do was get the glasses on Amazon, the Macho Man Randy Savage glasses, and then I could just dress up however I did. And so I did that, and we showed a brief, sort of introduction of me dressed up as Macho Man for the show. And I did not, we just for certain reasons, I couldn't show his reaction, unfortunately, because we didn't want to, get in trouble or whatever. But
Sure.
we talked about it, and that was really kind of how it began. Then a few months after that was WrestleMania. And I wanted to do it again. So I decided I wanted to go as Rowdy Roddy Piper. And I don't have blonde hair, but I wanted to get the same kind of plaid shirt that he wore in They Live.
Yeah.
And I already have, jeans, and I already have sunglasses, and so all that. Now, so for this one, this was my very first time being at a wrestling match. I never went to any of these before.
Okay.
But I was familiar with TNA. Mitchell told me about it, like what the vibe is, what the deal is, and I really liked it. I liked the fact that they could go a little further than what WWE does usually. They're a little more sanitized, they're a little more clean. TNA is like, it's not super graphic, but it's graphic enough where you can notice it.
Right.
And I like that. I really appreciated that, because I feel like that is kind of the core of what wrestling should be. It's like anything and everything goes. Like, it is dangerous, but like everybody's, putting their best foot forward.
Yeah.
But I had to think about, like, I know I'm going to dress up. There's no question about that. But where am I going to go with this exactly? So I was thinking about the fact that I did go as Macho Man previously, and I grew out the whole beard. Well, what is the exact opposite of a Macho Man Randy Savage? Well, the beard, it would have to be just the mustache. Macho Man is this whole thing, crazy character, and I thought, I wonder if I could actually pull off Ned Flanders. I have kind of the look, I have the glasses, I have brown hair, but what would I really look like? And lo and behold, oh my God, I look way more like Ned Flanders than I ever thought I would have heard in the entire world. And the thumbnail of this video, or the picture that you put out there promoting the video, says it all. I could not actually believe that I knew I could do an impression, hi daily ho neighbor, but I didn't know like if I could actually pull off the look. No, I pulled off the look, and I found the sweater. I found a really nice Oxford sort of short sleeve collared shirt fit, and then I got a wig, and I grew out an entire mustache for like a month basically. And there was Ned Flanders, and I was like, Mitchell, can you guess like who I'm about to be? He's like, well, maybe Freddie Mercury. I'm like, no, I'm not going as Freddie Mercury. I'm not doing that. Okay. And I'm like, could you possibly think of any other character with a mustache? Because I grew a mustache, and you'll see like in the month of June, I had a mustache for the entire month of June for the show. Like, could you possibly think of any other person with glasses, with a mustache that I could possibly dress up as? He, for the entire month, could not possibly guess what I would go. And so when we went to the Aganis Arena at Boston University, I hide behind our friend, and then I pop up and I go, hi dilly ho, and I catch him so off guard, and he's like, Ned Flanders. Ned Flanders. And I'm like, yep. He's like, wow, good job. So I did that. And there are multiple clips of all these different matches for TNA Slammiversary, and you can see me clear as day right in the background as Ned Flanders. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. It was great. It was oh my God. And honestly, for my very first ever wrestling match, it was phenomenal. That was a great show. Mitchell had some, critiques of a few of the matches. I'm not a wrestling fan. I don't know wrestling the way he knows wrestling. He is a savant when it comes to wrestling. But I just know that it was a wonderful time. Everybody put their A game so forward. And here's the other thing I wanted to mention. Now, I cannot verify if this happened.
Okay.
Because of the fact that I wanted to get more clips from TNA Slammiversary on the show, but they did not show every single thing. So for all I know, this is just speculation. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. I'm not 100% sure. However, I will say this. So there was Nick Nemeth and Mike Santana, the main event match for TNA Slammiversary. Yeah. So Nick Nemeth, he comes out from the usual sort of the big entrance point. He comes in, he does his thing, whatever, right? Mike Santana comes from the top of the sort of concessions aisle all the way down the aisle right near where we were sitting. And so he does his entrance, he does the whole 9 yards. I get, he is literally crossing us. I get up, I stand up. Now again, I don't know whether this happened or not, but I believe that I am literally right next to Mike Santana, and you can see me as Ned Flanders right next to him on the screen. That is probably the most that you will see me. I really wanted to play it on the show. I couldn't find the clip anywhere, but I believe, because I was literally right next to him, I believe I was on camera as Ned Flanders. You can see me clear as day.
There you go.
You will have to probably go on TNA Plus, their subscription service, to see if I am there. I am not going to spend that money. It's a little expensive for me, but if you go in, you will probably see me in all sorts of places for TNA Slammiversary, that playback.
Okay. Yeah, like, so I was a pro wrestling fan. Like, I guess I'm still am, because I'm kind of more casual. I'm more casual about it now. But at one point I trained. Like, I actually, like, took bumps and, did moves and everything, like, for a few months. So, like, I've been to all sorts of shows. I've been to indie shows. I never been to Ring of Honor. I've been to a TNA house show. Like, the main event was great because it was Samoa Joe against Scott Steiner, which was actually pretty funny. So, like, there was like a big, like kind of a big, like, obstruction that kind of came off the floor, and that's where all the wires were at. And there was like one entrance for everybody to come in and out. And Scott Steiner actually tripped over that. He caught himself. He didn't fall over, but yeah, I remember that, and we all laughed at Scotty, and I kind of feel bad for him in retrospect because I found out that he had drop foot syndrome. So, like, yeah. So, like, yeah, he shuffles his feet. But no, he wrestled Samoa Joe. Terry Funk was there. Mick Foley was there. I'm trying to think of who else was there. It was almost like classic TNA, but it was like that weird stage of TNA where, like, Samoa Joe had, like, the tattoo on his face, and yeah, it was kind of weird. I've seen numerous WWE house shows. I've seen nice. Raw taping. Never got to go see a pay-per-view, but I know I'm not missing much because most of it was all commercials. You're just sitting there and then you get like little bursts of wrestling here and there. I've been to Dragon Gate USA. I went all the way to Philadelphia for that. That was quite a trip because we drove a rental car from Amarillo, Texas, all the way to Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
I had two other wrestlers with me. One of the wrestlers, Rex Reed, I had him on the show, I would say several months ago. He actually ended up getting on the show. He ended up getting on the pre-show. And guess who he teamed up with? Tommaso Ciampa. Yeah, a young Tommaso Ciampa. Nice. And so there was that. And then then there was a part of the summer of 2010 where Daniel Bryan was originally going to be with the Nexus, and the Nexus was like a whole bunch of like these rookies that were brought in, and like Wade Barrett and all those guys. And it's hard to believe that Wade Barrett was a rookie. And same thing with Bryan Danielson, but it was like in between the part where Danielson got fired and then he was brought back that SummerSlam. So there was a show in between that was Dragon Gate, and he wrestled Shingo. Shingo is this really seasoned Japanese wrestler. Been everywhere, wrestled just about everywhere too. They had that was the bonus match after the pay-per-view was over. And they mauled each other for about 40 minutes. Wow. And like I have a Bryan Danielson autograph somewhere. Like there's a ticket that he autographed. I don't know where that went. I got a photo of him. I got a photo with him. It's like really blurry and I look really rough because I was like probably about a week on the road. Like, road trips, man. But afterwards, like Rex was kind of sitting in the back and he's just winding down, and Shingo comes up to him after this 40-minute like MMA influence, like it was a brutalizing match with Bryan Danielson. And Shingo goes up to Rex and he's like, you like Pancake Man, because like Rex had a top rope move where he basically jump off and he would basically do a big backdrop like onto somebody.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he called it death from above. And Rex is a big guy. Rex was about, I think, probably about 330 at the time. So he was like Bam Bam Bigelow kind. He had Bam Bam Bigelow type of energy.
Wow.
And Shingo comes up and he's like, "You like Pancake Man? You scary." And that's like that was like a third hand, because apparently Rex told Duke Cornell, who was like, I yard tarded with Duke Cornell like way back in the day when yard tarding was a thing in the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. And then little do I know that he had about a 20-year wrestling career. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so yeah, like I remember Duke telling me that story, and then I brought it up with Rex, and I think Rex all about confirmed it. So yeah, it was one of those crazy moments where just kind of the stars aligned, and it's still a story I like telling at cocktail parties.
That's good.
Yeah, where like somehow, some way, like the Japanese got like, but beforehand they did tryout matches, and Rex was there for the tryout match, and all these other wrestlers were chain wrestling. And Rex looks over at Chad Thomas, and Chad Thomas, like he's in the military. He's since cleaned up his act. He was kind of, but Chad was kind of like a big, tall, bulky cowboy. He had a cowboy gimmick, and they look at each other while everybody was exchanging holds and just like doing little starter match stuff, like match starter type stuff. They look at each other and they're like, should we just do big moves? Just like go out and do big moves and power bombs, clotheslines, whatever. And that's what they did for their 3-minute tryout match. And Gabe Sapolsky, who usually books like he was the booker for like Ring of Honor, he was the booker for Dragon Gate, big mover and shaker for Evolve, which is kind of under that WWE umbrella. Gabe was initially going to go for this tag team, and they were pretty big guys, but they never. I don't remember them ever really amounting to anything. And all the Japanese guys overruled him. They were like, no, we want Rex, and that was Rex's like high point of his entire wrestling career, in front of nobody in the ECW arena, and people like and a whole bunch of Japanese guys, like guys that he would watch, all point at him and chant his name. No, we want Rex, 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 Rex. And it was a cool moment. Like, it was cool to watch. And, it's one of those things that like, it's like, yeah, sometimes the greatest moment that a wrestler can ever have is not in front of an audience. It's in front of his peers. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, speaking to that, Nick Nemeth, it was actually the opposite of what you said, because he was in WWE for a long time, and we covered this on our TNA Slammiversary coverage. But he had this really kind of amazing speech, and say like, listen, like you may have all the fame, you may have all the glory, you may have all this and that, but you know what I am going to show up. I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm never going to back down, and I'm never going to give up and do all these things. And he never really quite made it big in WWE. And seeing the match live, and he won the match against Mike Santana, but it really was apparent. And also his brother was there too, and he was doing all kinds of shit with Mike Santana as well.
Yeah.
But basically what was apparent in that moment was that, he really, he deserved to win that match. He worked so hard for so many years across his career, didn't quite make it, didn't quite get to the level that he wanted to get at, but he garnered that respect and that audience for TNA. And then when he won, he earned it. And everybody, we were all cheering for him. And he got the belt. They were popping champagne bottles, the whole 9 yards. And it's one of those moments where you realize, number one, how important in-person events truly are.
Mhm.
That sense of community, that sense of, yeah, I don't know you, but we're all in what we're seeing together and we're all there. And we kind of lost that in COVID.
Yeah.
But particularly it was a moment where I didn't know this background when I was seeing it. I realized like it was amazing and it was great. But then when Mitchell really broke down like why the match was as important and why it was as impactful as it was, I had a bigger appreciation for his win and a bigger appreciation for the glory that he was having in that moment to win the main match against Mike Santana. And I'm telling you, Mike Santana, he was bleeding from the head at one point, and Nick Nemeth is grabbing his head and he's pulling that gash from his head.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yo, what are we doing? And it was a match. It was a capital M match. My first main event match in wrestling that I've ever seen. And look, Mike Santana, both of them, they were great. They were phenomenal. I mean, they were professionals and they were pulling out A1 moves. Yeah. But there was no question that Nick Nemeth, like, he was the star and he earned that moment after years and years of not making it the way he wanted to make it. So, you say that. I think that it is important for sure to be, respected among your peers, but there is a satisfaction even going through all the bullshit that you had to go through, and then everyone's cheering you on. It's like, yeah, I made it. Yeah, I did it, and I'm gonna keep going from there. It was a very fascinating moment when we saw it live.
Right. Sure. The interesting thing with Nick Nemeth is he had an interesting origin where when he started off in WWE, he was part of the Spirit Squad. So he was with a whole bunch of different guys, and they were male cheerleaders.
Wow.
And they would get their asses kicked all the time by Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and then they rebranded him to Dolph Ziggler. And he was kind of underrated. He was kind of overlooked because Kenny Dykstra, who was also part of the Spirit Squad, and I don't know if he still wrestles anymore, but Dykstra was looked upon as kind of the big, he's going to be the breakout star, where you find out that with time, Dykstra ended up being gone, and Ziggler ends up rising through the ranks. Just because, Ziggler had a look, and he kind of had the mix of, now when I think about it, he kind of reminds me if you blended Mr. Perfect with Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, who would put together these awesome matches with Rick Rude. And Rick Rude had an amazing body, and he could wrestle. And Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth is if you put those two guys together. At one point, he did win a world title, but he had so many things kind of break against him to where he could never get that brass ring. And to hear how he was able to have a really great match with Mike Santana. And Mike Santana, actually, I think he might have debuted on NXT the other night.
I think that's true, yes.
Yeah, and...
I remember correctly.
Yeah, so, I believe that's really... It's a big milestone. I don't know what kind of milestone, but I would say for Nemeth to kind of be okay, I had my time in the sun with the WWE, but I'm having more fun in TNA, or I'm having more fun.
Right.
And then, it depends on where you feel is home. For a lot of pro wrestlers, the dream is WWE, but there's some of them and that are just happy with wrestling on weekends in front of 50 people.
That's right. Yeah.
One of my things was when I was wrestling, I was I don't know if I'm ever going to be the megastar.
Right.
But if I can just go, okay, so he just did he just did a debut. Yep. Cool. Okay. Thanks, Mitchell. For some people it just depends. And I've had a lot of really good talks with some really talented wrestlers where from Rex to Ryan Justice to, a few others, the dream is always to go to WWE and get that massive payday, get the WrestleMania paycheck, get millions upon millions of dollars. But some of them understand that, well, maybe, just maybe, like maybe my calling is not so much WWE, but it could be like Ring of Honor. It could be TNA. It could be AEW. It could be Major League Wrestling, MLW. Or it could just be like, hey, I just do stuff on the weekends. I just go out and have fun on the weekends. And I've had those conversations with different wrestlers where, and everybody has different goals. Everybody has different things. Sometimes I knew there's a good friend of mine, and he had the potential to go to Ring of Honor. Like, he could talk, he could express his emotions through a mask, which is incredible to do.
Oh yeah.
He could talk. Not he could wrestle. He had a good resume on him. Like, he wrestled, I think at one point he wrestled Delirious and had a good match with him, and has a whole bunch of really good matches. However, when Jim Cornette gave him the call, and I remember this story where he got the invitation to go to Ring of Honor when Ring of Honor was really, really good. And he turned it down, mostly because, not because, like, his mom is awesome. Like, I've interacted with his mom plenty of occasions. And she was like, go see what it's all about. And he ended up turning it down because he had a good job, where he was living. He had a really good paying job. He had a fiance, and then who he ended up marrying, and he's still married to her to this day. And just wonderful people. They have a daughter together, and she's a wonderful person. So like some people, like they can be satisfied with where they're at sometimes too. So it really is a case by case basis. But to see that, or at least from your perspective, for Nick Nemeth to really celebrate, why he was in TNA and them giving him the opportunity to really shine.
Yes. That's where you're like, okay, you can find your calling. So, yeah, that's what life is all about. Just finding your calling and, and pursuing your passions, kind of like us, like with our podcasts and, and talking about, different things. Yeah. But yeah. Anywho, I'll move on. You wanted to talk video games, right? Because you wanted to talk video games with me when I think when you initially reached out, you were like, oh, hey, what's there's a lot going on in the world of video games.
There
for sure.
is.
Actually, before we get to that, I want to say one really quick thing just to sort of wrap it up, which is that, I think that, related to a similar, conversation that we had early on, I think that a lot of people don't, they don't have the ability to be honest with themselves.
Sure.
I don't think that a lot of people really understand what their actual skill sets. They may think that they know, but they're sort of trying to play catch up with what the expectations that are set for them are. And I think that it's true of entertainment. I think it's true for a lot of different sort of places in particular. But, I think that it's either you have the confidence, who you are, and you can do it. And then along the way, maybe you realize, I'm maybe not as good at this thing as I was. Maybe I'll stick to this, and then you can really shine in that skill set, right? Like in anything, work, entertainment, whatever. And I think that, and then there are other people who they're grinding you down, and they're like, you're no good, you're dog shit, you're this, and then you're that, and either you're gonna keep spiraling down and convincing yourself that you're not good enough, or you're gonna fight back and try to prove people wrong. I think that what you said is indicative of the fact that, some people are just not built for a certain way of doing things or putting themselves out there, having that kind of exposure. I certainly, I can talk, I can do all kinds of things, but I know I've always known that I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of a person.
Yeah.
And the podcast gave me the ability to do the things behind the scenes because I know I can do it really well, but it also gives me that ability to put my voice out there and actually talk about the things that I really want to talk about. If I was doing it all by myself, I don't think I would be really doing anything. Like, it would just be way harder to get myself out there. And yet when I have Mitchell, he's the one that's kind of holding me accountable to what we need to do for the show. And I also hold him accountable for other things that we do. And we kind of work back and forth in that respect. But it's to say that you are absolutely on the money when it comes to, sort of that sort of thing. But yeah, I just want to sort of want to wrap it up.
That's great.
And we will get into video games for sure, because there's some fuckery going on with PlayStation and Xbox and all that garbage.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
Oh, no problem. I felt the same way, like, the dynamic between CJ and I. CJ gives me a lot of credit, and I try to just downplay it because I'm just like, hey, I'm just the guy that's putting together the show, and And I always tell CJ, well, you're the star of the show. Like, and he's the idea guy. He'll be like, oh, hey, check out this guy, because CJ stumbled upon KB. It's where, like, we ended up covering him and just, had a blast covering KB. Or he would find a whole bunch of these people. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then we react to it. And then we're just like, that's interesting. Maybe we should cover them a little bit more. So he's more of an idea guy. I'll have some ideas. I'll be like, okay, all right, this is one person we need to cover because there's some developments here. There's some developments there. I'm kind of like, okay, all right, here's our stable. And then CJ keeps, kind of like cherry picking, and he's like, all right, we're going to add this to the stable.
Exactly.
And like he's like an ideas guy. There's times where I'm like, yeah, go find me some interesting things, and then I'll go in blind, and I'll react to it blind. But yeah, like
same. I do it too because Mitchell's the ideas guy for our show, and then I'm usually the one that I'll have things that I may want to cover, but for whatever reason, the well runs dry for me super easily, and I don't understand it. Like, you would think that I could find some interesting stuff. Of course, I'm the co-creater of the show, and yet for whatever reason, I never am able to find nearly as much as Mitchell. Mitchell will find bing, bang, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And for mine, it's like a lot of entertainment stuff, or a lot of like other kinds of internet stuff. It's not so much the lolcow stuff that I focus my stuff on, pop culture, that kind of thing. And yet it's like I can never find anything. Like I can't. And so we usually rely on Mitchell, and I'm fine with it. I blind react to like all the stuff, and it's all like, what the heck? And I just get I get frustrated a lot of the time, and then there have been times Mitchell's like, oh my God, I fucking knew it. Like, oh my God, Power Wash Simulator 2. That was a trip.
Oh.
It is dirt on water, and Phil is like, he's like moving the ladder, and Mitchell's crashing out. He's like, stop moving the ladder. Why are you doing this? Just press the button. You don't have to turn it. And he goes, oh my God.
Oh, man.
And he's like, who the fuck watches this unironically? And I'm like, this is one of the best moments the show has ever had. Hands down, one of my absolute favorite moments. So I get it. I understand the frustration, but to see him frustrated, because he's so numb to it too, but then to see him like crash out on Phil, I'm like, yes, this will go down as one of the best moments of the show.
I crash out on Phil like more often than you think. Like, whenever we cover Phil, like, I'm stopping every 2 seconds to, like, just be like, Phil, that's bullshit. Or, Phil, you are wrong. Like,
I do the same thing too. I'm like, Phil, why are you doing this? Phil, stop. Like, you have to stop, please. This is too much for me, Phil.
He's very, like, for somebody that claims he has so much life experience to behave almost like an extraterrestrial. Like, he'll eat corn the long way and be like, I don't know, guys, like, why is this corn not taste so good? Like, because you're eating it the long way, Phil. Like, you're not supposed to. Like,
now, guys, I am in this maze, but I don't know if I can find find the exit. Snort. What the hell?
And how this man is married is beyond me too. And
I don't know.
And there's there's speculation that that Phil Burnell like groomed Panda Lee, and that cat's kind of not all there. So I mean, I'm not going to go into that territory, but yeah, I do a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes, but also like it's really good when like a CJ or even like some of our viewers provide us with some ideas. Like what I really like about our community, and our communities blend together, which is really nice. I think we had a few viewers like suggest Truther, and we had a few others suggest M stands for money. And M stands for money. My goodness, that guy is a train wreck. Like, he dresses up in tactical outfits, and then he has like this weird beard like that comes down, like kind of comes down to a point, or it separates like kind of at the bottom. He always
like Duck Dynasty or something like that.
Yeah, like a messed up Duck Dynasty. He's like if Cyrax decided to maybe go outside and just beg for money, but but M stands for money actually has better comebacks than Cyrax. We always I always kidded with CJ. I was like, okay, all right, M stands for money is like Cyrax is better off brother from another mother.
Sounds about right.
He's still homeless. He still grifts. He still wants to go to Texas and he wants to get grills from this. It's not even a dentist. It's this guy that installs grills into your teeth. Like, he wants grills for some odd reason. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. And then he crashes out, and yeah, M stands for money is a rabbit hole all to himself.
Yes,
we've covered him a little bit. But yeah, it's just, we pull in a lot of ideas from other people. We've covered clavicular at one point. And
that guy.
Yeah, the Looks Maxer.
The Looks Maxer thing. I don't. How did that? I don't understand. It's one thing to be an advocate for men's health. Yeah. Right, but it's a whole other thing to be like, "Hey, grab a hammer, smash it, and then align the
readjust your face with a hammer."
Okay. What is this degenerate advice that he's giving to people? I'm so confused by him, and why he's even a thing to begin with. And we've never covered him, but I don't think I will. He's not as interesting, but it's also why at the same time.
Well, he also says really weird stuff about about how you can make your penis bigger and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's disturbing.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, it is.
But I think that's such a great segue into video games. By the way, just talk about another guy's dick, but no, I saw that physical media is going to go away, and I think that's the bad play. I mean, I honestly commented that I feel like we're on our way towards another video game crash like 1983.
Yep. 100%, and we've talked about this too. The moves that are happening, especially with PlayStation, Microsoft is guilty too, but PlayStation in particular, they are so out of their depth at what they are causing. They don't understand that they've been alienating their audience. They don't understand how they've been communicating with their audience on their social media platforms, particularly Twitter. They seem to just have been... They have this mindset that it's kind of like the tech bros. It's like, we're just gonna keep the trends going. We're gonna push it, and people are just gonna accept it. And it's like, that's not how it works. You don't understand how the video game industry operates. You don't understand this audience. You just want to make more profit and more money. And oh my God, you should. So we covered this, but basically, the announcement of we're going to phase out physical games by 2028. There were, thousands of comments and they were felting PlayStation up, down, left, right, all over the place. And then there were memes between the time that they put that out, and there was an absence. They post every single day. Okay, they post multiple times every single day, but after that one tweet, they went dark. They went completely blacked out. They did not post that following Thursday, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and there were memes about, all right, where are you, PlayStation? Come out, wherever you are. Like, it was glorious. There was a meme where it was similar to, like, you know the meme where it's like there's a little girl and she's hiding under the table and there's the Terminator and she's looking and he's looking. Yeah. And basically the little girl was PlayStation and the Terminator were the PlayStation fans and all of that. It was, the memes were hot, heavy, and incredible. Oh, man. So then the following day, so that was the week after that. So they posted for the very first time in a week, which is crazy. They decide, let's not, assuage any fears. Let's not talk to our audience. Let's announce a frickin' fight stick for the PlayStation 5. A fight stick. They say, okay, so you have a problem here with the fact that we aren't going to do physical games anymore. Well, here's something else that might assuage your fears. We're going to have this literal fight stick, this joystick, and you can customize all these different little parts here and there.
Oh my God.
Like, the timing for this could not have been worse.
Oh no.
To put out not let alone a product of PlayStation, but a physical product for PlayStation after you said, we're not going to do physical games until after 2028. It's like, how tone deaf do you have to be to do that? It was bonkers. And then since then they've been posting pretty consistently, but oh my God. Oh, and here's another thing. Now I don't remember the exact comments, but if you go to the French Twitter, it's like Bastille Day down in those comments.
Oh dang.
The French PlayStation fans do not fuck around. They are even more savage than the American ones. It is hilarious, the memes that they put out. Like, people are angry. Yeah. Really, really badly. Yeah,
well, and I don't blame them. People still appreciate physical media, where it seems like these days, these video game companies, these video game consoles, Sony, Microsoft, even Nintendo are like, you know what? We're going to give you nothing and you're going to enjoy it. Like,
exactly. Yes.
And it's so sad because I feel like these video game companies are kind of just losing touch with their audience.
They really are. Yes.
It's sad to see. Like, I know EA has been terrible forever, but the big hullabaloo a while ago, and it was something that, like, I commented on, and I somehow got like 900 likes out of it. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
A lot. Was like, I grew up on NCAA football, and they just came out with college football 27. It was the first game I pre-ordered in a long time. France always be rioting for different causes. I believe it. Yeah, those French are passionate.
They are. Yes.
But yeah, I was like, this is the first time since like maybe Madden 06 where I pre-ordered a game, and then they have this whole deal where they decided to monetize the maxing out of your coaching stats. So like, you can create a coach and you can go like undefeated for 10 years, but you're still going to get up to only like level 48 or something. You're not going to completely max out your coach. Where back, like, and I know they're trying to introduce new elements and everything, but when I was playing like NCAA 06, NCAA 14, NCAA 14 was probably like the last one I really played. And I really got into it just because I was like, well, cool. Like, I can max out my stats, and I can do all this other stuff. And I can take like, a terrible team like Rice Rice University and have them win a national championship. But yeah, like there was a whole hashtag that was like EA pay don't play. I jumped on that, and somehow I got like 900 likes out of that tweet.
Wow. Yeah.
And then like these sports video game YouTube channels like Bordeaux, Not the Expert, a whole score of these YouTubers were like, hey EA, you need to wake up, because this is they treated it like it was like the decline of Western civilization. And
Yes.
I was just like, I just don't want to pay money. I just rather grind away at a game and be able to play. You can't pay to win. Those are the best games. Yeah. I'd rather grind away at a game, but and then that would help out with like replayability and keep you wanting to come back for more, because there's more incentives if you keep grinding away a game. But then again, that's not the thing anymore. It's like, oh well, it's all about these microtransactions, and they want to squeeze every bit of juice out of that orange or out of that lime. Take your pick on the fruit, but
right.
Yeah.
And here's the concern about getting rid of physical media. The concern really, and not just physical media for video games, but all physical media for movies, for television, for everything like that. It's the fact that they are limiting the ability to own something. They say it's the company that owns these things. It's the company that's allowing you to see or play these things. And there was a controversy with I think it was PlayStation. Yeah, so PlayStation recently they got rid of upwards of 50, maybe even 100 movies that they supposedly lost the licenses to. And that these were movies that a lot of them, it wasn't just the fact that they were rentable, right? It's one thing to rent a movie and then it goes away and then it goes back into the cycle, right? These are movies and games, but we'll talk about the movies in this particular instance, that people purchased with their money, and now they are gone. They're just gone. They're not on their machines anymore. So how that is causing a crisis in its own way, because it's like, so if I pay money for this thing that is digital, it's just gonna go away without my notice. I spent money for nothing. Literally, like that. Like they don't understand the crisis that they are about to make, not just for the movies, but especially the video games. People buy those video games, and then all of a sudden they just are like, okay, it's not available. It's gonna go away, and fuck you. Like, you paid money for that. You paid money for that game.
Yeah.
The movies thing, that's the movies thing. But what the movies thing does is it sets an incredibly dangerous precedent for what happens with video games that you literally are not going to be able to own. And people can say all they want, like, I've been buying digital for years and I have never had this problem. That's not the point. The point is that it's going to get worse. And that's why physical media is important, because yes, people should have access to digital media. No one is going to question that. The problem is, what about the movies, or what about the games that are not readily available out there digitally?
The ones that are like digitally out of print, like out of print digitally.
Out of print, exactly. And and physical media, physical media is limited. There's no question about that. But when you have these two things hand in hand, they complement each other. If you can't find something digitally, maybe you can find it physically. Otherwise, you're going to be encouraging people to pirate movies, to pirate video games, to do those emulators, for instance, right? So it's like, again, there's no denying in my mind that they are in for a huge crash that they are creating for themselves, because of the fact that they don't understand their audience. They don't understand how to garner an audience, and their business model is frankly, it's going down the shitter, quite frankly.
Yeah, it is. And it's sad to see, because like, man, when I was growing up, it was a thing to go, collect movies or go collect shows or whatever.
Right.
Like, cause then you can go back and you can go rewatch them. That's what I loved. Like I had like a whole, when I was in high school, and I still am a big fan to this day. I was a big fan of like Robotech, and Robotech is this kind of this anime influenced cartoon. Like it was basically imported from Japan to America, and it's about jets turning into gigantic robots to fight 50-foot aliens.
Right.
Pretty neat premise. They brought in like space folding, folding space, all that other stuff, all this other sci-fi stuff. But like I liked going back and like popping in the DVD or the Blu-ray and just going back if like there was a scene I really liked, I can go back. Like I can go forward, I can go back, or I can rewatch some of my favorite episodes. Like I feel like if physical media is taken away, and I really do feel like there's really like when we were growing up, like there was so many different formats. Like I went from cassette tapes, like the big cassette tapes to there was laser discs, but they were never really a thing in a kind of my isolated part of rural Iowa.
Yeah, it was never really a thing for me either.
No, and
Laserdiscs was like 80s, early 90s. That was beyond my time.
Yeah, very, very late 80s, early 90s. And then you had like the early DVDs, and then you had Blu-ray, and I feel like Blu-ray is kind of that final, that final part. Like I feel like there's not going to be any more like upgraded. There might be like 4K or whatever.
Okay,
but,
UHD.
Yeah, UHD. But I feel like, we're kind of at the end of like how far they could take physical media.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like you still need physical media no matter what. Like
for sure.
Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like, I guess I'm torn about it, because I'm like, well, okay, I get it. However, if you buy it, it should be rightfully yours, and then it allows you to replay it as many times as you like, and as long as you like. So
yeah, and this is the same company in 2014 that guaranteed their CEO at the time. They said, "We are not in the business of going digital only. We will guarantee that you will have a physical copy." There is a there's that it was like it was either commercial or like a promotional video or whatever, and it's like, here's how to share your games with people. Step 1, get a game. Step 2, give it to your friend. Step 3, have the friend return the game back to you. And now 12 years later, we're in a whole different world. Their whole philosophy is flipped upside down since then.
Yeah.
In 2014. But that's the thing, is that they think that they can outsmart the backlash. They can never outsmart the backlash.
Oh,
no
no.
company in the history of the world can ignore the backlash, because it will affect their bottom dollar and it will affect them financially. But the fact that they're choosing to ignore their fans, it is literally one of the biggest public relations mistakes that you will ever make in your entire life. And so, yes, I also am in agreement. I do believe we are in for a crash, and I feel like all the cards are on the table for them. Like, the ball is in their court. All the different expressions that you want to say for PlayStation. If they want to prevent what they are about to do, then they can do it. They can do it. They can make better, smarter decisions. They are literally choosing to fuck people over.
And what's going to happen to Evan is, and I'm going to just kind of echo what Brooks Looks is saying in the chat, is that people are going to find ways of pirating or basically going around people. Like, there will always be a black market. The best thing to do is to offer options, to be okay, here's the physical copy, here's the digital copy. Right. We have these options available. If you start taking away those options, then it allows like a black market to develop, And they're going to, who knows, they might charge double or triple for your favorite movie or video game.
That's right.
And who knows if they mess with it, if they want to be trolls, they want to mess with you a little bit. But, is it, from a business standpoint, is it better off for you to have the money in your hands versus the money in, somebody, in some untrustworthy hands? I'm not saying that like trolls and hackers are unworthy or untrustworthy, I should say.
Yeah.
But it costs you money in the long run. It's the short-term boost, if it's a short-term boost at all, for something that's going to be disastrous in the long term.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't buy video games very often. I really don't. College Football 27 was the only thing. They're already using AI to hack PS5 and 6. Will be started fast on day one. Good luck with that, Sony. Yeah.
And it's bad enough that there are video games like Black Ops 7, a total shit show disaster, also using AI as a part of its, OS system. We covered that. It is, what a disaster that game is. Like, what the heck? Yeah. If you want to watch it, definitely check out our channel. But we go over everything when it comes to like, it's just like there's just all these crazy weird decisions that they made, and on top of all of the crazy weird decisions that they were making, AI was involved with this game. It was just like, what are you doing, guys? Like, come on.
Yeah, like, and I'm in that camp where like AI needs to be the tool, but it can't be the shortcut.
Correct. Yes, I agree with that too. Yep.
Yeah. Then it's but yeah, like for video game companies to where it's like, oh yeah, we need to use AI. You do realize that AI has not mastered hands, right? They have not mastered that hands have 5 fingers. Like AI still gets confused over like, over hands and fingers. And that's why when you like say, hey, like make me, draw me a picture, through ChatGPT, and like the hands are like backwards and they're like, it's like, it's like a fucked up version of like walk like an Egyptian. So like,
right, exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like that's why you got to curate, like, and you got to watch it like a hawk, and you got to check things, and then you got to give it feedback. But that's its own thing. Oh my gosh.
It's its own thing. I've had a rule for myself that, I think I've had other kinds of rules for a lot of developing technologies, but for AI in particular, I am 90% no AI. Because I know that the 10% is going to be in my life, whether I like it to be or not. And there are, like, for example, Canva is a sort of a tool that you can use for photoshopping and for design and that kind of thing. And what I like about the way that their AI is that you type it in, you press enter, and then you can modify, have the background cut out from this one little image, and then you just type it and then it does it, right? And it helps you with that aspect. That's the tool part of it, right? Or for example, Google is now using AI, a Gemini, but also it has a smaller AI interface that does these like summaries now and whatever. Like, unfortunately, I can't turn it off. Like, it's not something that Google has been changed because of AI. It is not going to be the same Google the same way that it was back in the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s.
Oh, the golden age of Google.
Now fundamentally, exactly. It's fundamentally different, right? So, but every other thing that I could think of, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, all these other systems, I ain't touching them for shit, right? That's the stuff that I can control not using. But the other things, and the other things that I don't even know are happening, like, for example, like, AI is being now integrated into medicine, and particularly at hospitals, x-ray machines, all of that. Like, that's going to happen. That's the stuff that I can't control.
Yep.
But every other part, the 90% that I can control, I ain't touching it for shit.
Sure.
So that's kind of where I'm at, and I've always been kind of like that. I'm not like a Luddite or a troglodyte or whatever, but I am very much skeptical of these like newer technologies and what they can do. And I think you,
and rightfully
you
so.
should be skeptical, but also open to what they can be. But
Right.
you should have that skepticism, and I think a lot of people don't have that, especially in the 21st century. Now that we're almost we're a quarter of the way out of the 21st century.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're already this far in the 21st century as well. GTA 6. You know,
Yes.
I think there's finally a release date. You know, we've been waiting years for GTA 6, but here's my thing is I did get GTA 5, which is like forever and a half ago, it feels like. But
I know.
yeah,
Crazy.
for GTA 6 to come out, I'm like, is it really gonna like? Is it like? I think it's gonna be underwhelming. It's gonna be like,
Interesting.
yeah, it's not gonna blow my socks off. Like, I feel like the last great game, I think it was by Rockstar, was Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, where it was like that open world and, you know, all those certain missions. They had a good story mode. But yeah, just I don't know. I have a feeling that people are going to just be disappointed with GTA 6. It's either going to be the greatest thing of all time, or it's going to be the most disappointing thing of all time.
I think so. Yeah, I don't have a big opinion about that, but definitely I remember when it came out. Like, I got that on the day of that. If you can believe it, back in my day, you can get GTA 5 and a bundle pack with these PlayStation 3 for about $200.
Oh.
And now it's so much different and so much more expensive, if you can believe it. But it was a big deal. It was a big deal at the time, and the scope of the map. I mean, it's a big map, but like, it really redefined video games for an entire generation. I mean, even think about games like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and the introduction to the open world, and you times that by like 5 or 6 for Grand Theft Auto 5. It's just crazy. So I Mitchell and I, we've covered it, a good amount of the teases, what's coming up with that on the show. But definitely what is hurting, what hurt a lot of, GTA 6 is, number one, the delays, because everybody makes the meme of, oh, this happened before we got a Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever. That's number one. Number two was not just the delays, but also, like, there were like these story teases that we kind of knew what was going on, and we didn't really know what was going on. So there was speculation about like what was in the game, what was not in the game. Not a bad thing, but just kind of like they were fueling speculation for a game that may or may not come out that year, or it may get delayed, and it kind of soured people's sort of tastes and whatever. But finally, really, like, this was the smoking gun when it comes to the physical games, because they said, oh, Grand Theft Auto, we're just, we're not going to do physical copy. You're going to get a box if you want the box, and you're going to get a code, and that's it. And it's like, excuse me, what is going on? And that was really the origin of PlayStation and Xbox being like, we're just not going to do any physical games. It really, I think it began with Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay. And because then there was some confusion. There was a little bit of confusion in a couple of different ways with the physical release. So the first confusion was, November 19th. That's the day the physical release would be coming out.
Yeah, that's what Mitchell said in chat. Yep.
Right. And then the following was the digital release. And so people were like, so what is the and the digital release was for the Ultimate Edition. But now they're like, oh, we're going to scrap it completely. But okay, so why would I pay less? Like, you're basically, the Ultimate Edition has so many like features and so many different things that the main game doesn't have. So you're basically buying half of a game for like less. And there's all these, and the prices are bad. I think the prices were like, if I remember correctly, it was $70 or $80 for the main game, and then you're buying $100 for the Ultimate Edition. So there was a lot of fuckery going on with 6, and then in addition, they're saying, oh, we're just gonna give you a box and digital code. And it's been a bit of Rockstar is in a lot of hot water. Oh, and not only that, but they also were messing around with some of the workers that were in the unions. That's a whole thing going on. So it is a hot mess.
Wow.
All around for Rockstar. It's really fortunate because they really were one of the top game developers in the world, and now they're doing a bunch of fuckery because they want more money or they want to pay their workers less. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah. I think I agree with Mitchell on this one, which is, GTA 6's story will disappoint, but not the gameplay. I feel like with time, and you know what, I'll probably let me not really retract, but maybe just refine, maybe GTA 6 is going to be disappointing. I think it's going to be disappointing at first, but once the mods come in, once people start modding that game, then it could be really fun. You still bust out the rocket launcher and you just destroy everything in your path. You can fly the jets and the tanks and the trains and and just have an absolute blast where you just destroy everything. But here's the deal. I felt like at one point, Saints Row did it better than GTA. Yeah, Saints Row, and I remember Saints Row because that was just. I had a good friend of mine. He had a character. He looked like he sucked on way too many lemons, so we called him Lemon Chan, nice. And we would get him in all sorts of shenanigans. And that's where you could really have fun with a game, is when you could just do stupid stuff and then just get away with it. I did see a Duke Nukem Forever in the chat as well. Yes. Duke Nukem, man, poor Duke Nukem. He got a pretty rough shake towards the end, but I did enjoy the Duke Nukem games. Those are fun.
Yeah, I never played them, but I always admired the memeability of those games.
They were.
The jokes and all of that.
Yeah, Duke Nukem was the best. Yeah, they should just let him cook. But yeah, well, okay. So mark my words, we will have to pay for GTA Online.
It's possible.
I'll put money on
the way things are going. And and you know what else? That's actually a very good point. Yeah. This I think it was the CEO of Mitchell, if you can say in the chat, but I'll try to describe it. Yeah. Basically, it was the CEO guy, and he was pontificating this kind of idea about what if we charge people per hour to play GTA Online or something. No. And I'm like, are you serious? What the hell are you thinking?
That's kind of like World of Warcraft when they would do a monthly. They would do a monthly thing,
or like a subscription or something like that. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you the way you are? It's just if you go down the research hole when it comes to PlayStation and some of the comments and some of the things that they're trying to propose, it will make your blood boil. It is really not good right now.
Oh yeah,
really, really bad.
Yeah. Oh, God have mercy on the video game industry.
Seriously.
That's all I can say about that. But yeah. Anywho, I don't know. Anything else that springs to your mind? Because I know you were like, I think I got some talking points to bring in.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, in terms of video games, that's all I can think of. But I want to mention a few things.
Sure.
Just so your audience is aware.
Yeah.
We are going to be doing a lot more newer content coming down the road on our channel.
Okay.
I was trying to promote that we were going to do a second channel originally, but due to logistical reasons and the fact that we would literally have to be building from the ground up, it just makes sense just to have everything that we've been doing on the one channel. The idea was that because there are some videos that I really like and that I like to do, but that haven't been performing well views-wise, that maybe we would be able to move some of those videos to a second channel so that it can have more exposure and have more of an audience. But we're just not at that point yet. So we're holding off on the second channel. The second channel will happen, and it's going to be great and really exciting and everything. But I think we have to just keep the eyes on the prize, axe to the grindstone in terms of growing our channel and getting, bigger and bigger and trying to get more of an audience subscriber-wise and views-wise and all of that. But so we're going to tease a few things. Number one is in terms of video games, Mitchell and I am going to actually be reviewing older games that Mitchell has picked for me.
Okay.
And we're doing it half and half. So he has chosen PS3 games that I am going to play that are, in his view, some of the best that he's played that he's owned.
Okay.
And that are fantastic. I will just mention that I am currently in the middle of Max Payne 3. That is a great game. Yeah. Really, really nice game. And I've known of it forever, but I was not aware of its vibe and the way that it is and its functionality until I started playing it. Okay. And we'll talk about more of that, down the road.
Sure.
Then he also has another pile, the absolute most dog shit games that he's ever played. And we are going to compare the two. So we're going to do the good, we're going to do the bad. Okay. And see what happens. I will admit I rage quit Prince of Persia. And Prince of Persia not only is it a broken game, I can barely control my character. I literally cannot. I am in the tutorial, Tyler. I am in the tutorial, and the camera's going all over the place. I can barely move. I don't know how in the world Mitchell was able to beat this game. It is literally broken. I do not understand how this game got into existence, let alone just being I don't know how, I don't know what God did to all of us, but Prince of Persia shouldn't have existed. But anyway, so we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about some of the other good and bad games. It's a bit of a longer term project, but we will get our first video out very soon. Once I beat, at the very least, once I beat Max Payne 3, we'll get it out there, and it should be interesting. Up next is just sort of general gameplay content. Mitchell really wants us to do sort of some campaigns, multiplayer. Yeah. We're going to have a LAN party going on, which should be very interesting. We're going to, do some Xbox 360 connecting and, do that kind of old school LAN kind of going on. That's going to be very exciting, and that is definitely something that Mitchell's very passionate about because he is the video game guy. I like video games too, but I'm more of a casual compared to Mitchell. I'm definitely much more of a casual player. He's the expert. He can snipe you in 3 seconds in a game if you want to. So that's coming up. And then we released a video recently, but we're gonna go through the DSP side scrollers interview.
I watched the first part of that. Yep.
Yes. So that's part one, and then we have at least another 3 or 4 parts. I think maybe just 3 more parts of the video to react to. It has been a journey. It was definitely an experience. Phil's lack of social skills and trying to be self-deprecating and funny was painful.
Yeah, you visibly cringe when Darkside Phil tries to be funny.
Truly. So we're gonna go through at least 3 more parts of it, and
God have mercy on y'all.
Yeah, really. Well, it's gonna get worse because we will be putting out a Cyrax report of the Miss Kelly saga, and that had to do with taking down his videos, and then Miss Kelly was someone who was a YouTube admin, but it really was just a random person. Oh my God. If you think the Side Scrolls interview was cringeworthy, this is way, way, way more mind-numbing and worse. I felt brain dead watching this video, and we're going to go through a little more of that too. We have at least 2 more parts left of the Miss Kelly saga. It is, and he goes, "Shut up, you dumb broad. You listen to me. No, I'm not finished, Miss Kelly. I'm not finished." I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
That's totally Cyrax. So when Cyrax gets into an argument, he talks over the opponent. He talks over the person he's arguing with. He's like, no, you listen here, me the best Marty. You listen to what I have to say. Shut up, you the best Marty. No, you didn't listen to me. And then then when it starts really going against him, then he starts shouting slurs, and then he pulls down his pants and whacks off his chewed up bubble gum, and it's all over. Then it's all over.
It's game over.
It's game over. Game over, man.
So,
game over. Yeah.
Game over. So that's the Miss Kelly saga, and then finally we have other stuff going down the road. But the last thing I wanted to mention was we are going to be doing a movie-related series that's complementary to our film reviews, and we're calling it the Rage-a-thon. And Mitchell and I are going to be picking some of the worst movies that we know of or that we can find, and we are subjecting ourselves to those movies, and we're going to talk about them.
Oh no. No.
I will tease my pick, which was Jack and Jill. Holy shit. That's all I got to say about Jack and Jill.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to say more than holy shit, but really, holy shit, is it garbage. It is insane. So we'll get into that when down the road. Mitchell has some other picks as well. Interestingly, Mitchell's picks are more of they're so bad on a technical level, and they're like these kind of like inconsistencies and things that you're gonna find very frustrating.
Yeah.
Whereas mine are my picks for him are like either really insufferable, or they're like, what the fuck am I watching, or what the hell is going on? One of them is actually a great movie. It's called Polyester by John Waters. But it's because of the fact that it's from the King of Trash. It is a very either you love it or you hate it kind of thing. So it is Polyester. I love Polyester. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Yeah.
But I have picked it for Mitchell because I want to see how he reacts to that kind of humor and that kind of sensibility for John Waters.
Sure.
So, but that's all the stuff that we've got coming down the pike. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, never a dull moment with Internet Uncapped. I would probably say one of the suggestions y'all should look into if you guys want to watch bad movies. Look for Invasion of the Blood Farmers. Yeah.
I have never heard of that before, and I am pretty knowledgeable about movies, but okay, I'll look this up.
Invasion of the Blood Farmers. Just to give a skinny, my friends and I would pick up bad movies from Family Video. We'd go out every Saturday or whatever, and we pick up bad movies. One of those bad movies involves a horror movie where John Rocker, and John Rocker was this psychotic pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. He was incredibly racist. He actually was he was a movie villain for a movie called The Lawnmower Man or something.
Oh, The Lawnmower Man. Yeah. I know that one. Stephen King. Yep.
Yeah. So, Invasion of the Blood Farmers, we found that it was made in the 70s, and it's about these weird, strange farmers that want to bring back. They worship a druid queen, and they have to drain people of their blood to bring her back. And it's so bad, it's funny. Wow. I thought you said Invasion of the Butt Farmers at first. Nah, that'd be funny. That sounds like an adult flick, but the Invasion of the Blood Farmers. So
yes.
And when I picked up I think I rented it out another time. I'm gonna look at Invasion of the Blood Farmers. The cover is awesome. It's so good. And it was made in 1972, and it's basically the image is this farmer taking a pitchfork to this screaming woman. It is so good. And the acting is terrible, and it is glorious. It is so good. It's so bad it's good.
So bad it's good.
So bad it's good. But that would be one of my suggestions. Would be Invasion of the Blood Farmers.
So I have an account on Letterboxd,
Okay.
and I have the whole list of all the movies that we are about to watch, and
Okay.
I have put it on both my list and his list.
Okay.
So because of your suggestion, we will absolutely be featuring it and talking about it on the show.
Hell yeah.
I am looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be I love it. I think it's gonna be great.
That'd be really good. Okay,
Yeah.
so I would say, yeah, we yapped enough, didn't we, Evan? So go
For
ahead.
sure. But it was great, and I really appreciate being on the show today.
You bet. And then for those who were not here at the beginning of the show, Evan's going to be back on Thursday. He'll be back with us for
That's right.
Crash Out Connoisseurs, where we're going over a retrospective of KB vlogs. Basically, we're going to watch like the KB vlog series, which is like a series of like 10-minute videos. It's like there's like 5 episodes. And it's glorious because, like, yeah, I mean, I went into KB, and KB's like visited a few times, and like he absolutely like loves it when we cover his movies. So, before we go, I'm sure you got some stuff to plug, Evan, along with future plans.
Yeah, so we talked about the future plans just now, but at our Internet Uncapped on YouTube is our YouTube channel. You can also check out Mr. Lolcow and if you want, Bombastic Relish on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
My account is not nearly as active. Mitchell's he does some stuff on his Mr. Lolcow channel, but our main channel that we put all our videos on is Internet Uncapped. Yeah, so look for that in the description, I guess.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to put it down in the description below right when we're all done.
All right, brilliant.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been the Unfiltered Podcast, season 2, episode 16. Holy moly, I still get surprised how far I get with each passing episode. Next week is the first anniversary show.
Ooh,
yeah, I can't believe
exciting.
it's already been a year since we started.
Wow.
Since I started the channel.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and the growth is slow, but yeah, I feel like our community is very hardcore. Like we have our regulars, we have our returning people that we'll see hop on, and it's always a blast. And I feel like our chat is probably, some of the more, intelligent, people on the internet. Although there have been times where, if you're aware of the Raxoverse, there's an orbiter called Uncle Gums. He popped into our chat one time. This guy cosplayed as Cyrax, and Cyrax was like, "Oh man, that's really cool, dude." Like he popped into our chat one time. I completely ignored him. I was like, "No, I don't want this person."
Absolutely not.
No.
Also, if you're cosplaying a Cyrax, I think you've made a lot of bad decisions in your life. I mean, that led you to that point. I mean,
he's got a pretty rough rep too, so that's why I can
imagine so. Yes.
I was like, no. But I think we also have some pretty big plans in place.
Good.
Yeah, we're gonna get some more, or we're gonna do some more collabs in the future. That's gonna be really fun.
Yes.
I know Jacob Sockness will be a thing. We'll probably end up interviewing him. Say what you will about Jacob Sockness, hardcore like butt farmers, But yeah, that's going to be an interesting interview. I know down the line, maybe Cassandra will be interested. We're trying to work some stuff out with Emma666, so we do a collab. We might talk a little Truther, talk a little Robbie Taggart. What I'm really interested in that Emma had covered was a lolcow by the name of Heather Brooke Clark. She's in jail now, but she went to jail because she made terroristic threats to a school, and that's a big no-no. That gets you in jail really quick. But she would used to be out in public and just crash out in public and start picking fights with teenagers, and she's 39, and yeah, she was a piece of she's a real piece of work.
That's bad.
Yeah. And you think the guy lolcows are bad? Well, the females, man. Woof. Yeah. But yeah, like big things coming to the network, as my friends would say, all across like the podcasting sphere, from Sweeze to Dalton Pruitt. Big things coming to the network. But yeah, guys, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll be back Monday. We'll be back tomorrow with Crash Out Connoisseurs. So yeah, tune in. We'll probably have our thoughts from the latest UFC fight night, because CJ likes talking MMA. And I have, since I have Paramount Plus, I keep up with UFC. It's the only thing I can really watch that's live sports anymore. Since they took away the PLEs from Peacock, they moved them all over to ESPN.
Yeah. Because at one point, WWE, you could do it on Peacock, and now it's like ESPN or something.
Yeah, it's over in ESPN. You got to pay like $30 a month for it. And yeah, it's ridiculous. It's bad. But anywho, Evan will be back Thursday. We'll have Crash Out Connoisseurs tomorrow. First anniversary show. I got to figure out something to do for the first anniversary show. But all right, guys, until next time, y'all have a good one.